Welcome to Tuesdays at 2 with the Coaches Console. It's Melinda here, and today's topic, we're going to be talking about the website module in your console system. And today we're going to focus on the topic of branding and how to, we're going to look at headers for your website, predefined headlines so that you have consistent looking page layouts and formats. We're going to talk about background colors, logos, making sure that your marketing website and your private client website are complementary in branding, style, and design. So we're going to go through those. It's kind of I'll call it a back to the basics. But it's so important to pay attention to these details. Our team was just talking about um, reviewing websites. We get a lot of especially our boot campers, where we're reviewing their websites. A lot of different members are creating their websites. We see a lot of people in the industry, even that aren't our clients, and they're setting up websites. And there's a lot of, I'm going to call them small, I'll just call them mistakes, small little mistakes, oversights that when you don't do these tiny little touches to your website, it can make a big deal on a visitor's experience with you. And the branding creates kind of the feel for the whole website. So it's a big deal, and we don't want to overlook it. And we want to cover some of those things today, and that's what we're going to dive into. So we're going to get into that in the first part of today's training. Please excuse my sniffles and my cold, and I'll do the best that I can. And then in the second half of the training, we're going to open it up to whatever questions that you have. So if you're on the webinar with us live for this training, you can type those questions into your webinar box. I'll see those, and we'll address those as they come in. If you're listening on to this on the recording, if you weren't able to join us, we missed you as always. And if you have questions while you're listening to the recording, then head over to the Coaches Console Members Mastermind Facebook group or the Support Center and post your question there, and a member of our team will get back to you. Okay, so let's take a look at kind of what I'm talking about today. So the branding of our website. Here's a website sample. It's the one I always use in these trainings. And when it comes to the branding, we're talking about your logo, and it can be a graphic design for a logo, or it can just simply be your business name typed out. It doesn't have to be a fancy image or anything like that, but you do need to have a branding with your business name and a logo here in the upper left. Your background color, you can see here it's kind of a tan, beigey kind of real simple background color. The header, this graphic that looks like a compass, this header image, we're going to be talking about that today. And then we're going to be talking about things like these header images that are on each page. So you can see the home page, and then you can see the About Us page and the Meet Your Coach, and all the pages that you add if you do it like a sales page. And we're going to talk about those predefined headlines so that the layout on each page is consistent. And then we're going to talk about how you can set up some predefined headings because when you're creating the copy on each page, consistency is key. If you try to use too many font styles or sizes or too many colors, it's actually going to be a bigger distraction. A lot of people will say, oh, I know, I'll do one section in a certain color, and then I'll do a different paragraph on that page in a second color. And then a little bit later on that page, I'll do a third paragraph in a different color. And the thought process is if I use all these different colors, it'll make those sections stand out. But actually what happens is it becomes more of a distraction, and then nobody reads anything and nobody stays on your website. So they can't find out the amazing programs and services that you offer. So we're going to talk about that today. And that's what we're going to cover in the first part of today's training. And then, like always, in the second part of the training, we're going to open it up for Q&A. Whatever questions you have about your console system, you can enter those in and I'll answer them, whether it's related to today's topic or whatever it's about. We can go there, okay? The first thing that I want to talk about is the header image. For a lot of coaches, they like having a header image, some sort of graphic on their website to kind of create a theme or the essence of your business and your services and what you're about, because pictures speak 1,000 words. You can have one picture and it can really say more than any words you could put on the page. So a lot of people like having a header graphic like this compass here. Now you have a couple of options with this. You can change out this image. In fact, we give you about 25 different images that you can use from based on the niche that you're in. Or you can customize your own header image and upload it, or you can just turn it off. Some people don't want it. And I'm going to show you how to do that so that you know your options. So let's go back into the console system, and we're going to be working in the website module today. So we click on the website module. You're going to see a number of different aspects of your website that you can edit. We're going to be working on the theme, and I'm just going to click Preview and Customize. It's going to remind me to save my changes. And let's go to the header image. You'll see the header image. We're going to click on that. And you'll see that as I click on the header image, these are the ones, you can scroll through the ones that we provide for you. And you can see kind of a working draft of what your website would look like if you chose that header image, right? And so you can begin to play with a number of different options. Maybe you work with teams, so maybe something like this would be great, kind of showing how you hit the bullseye with teams. Or maybe you work with relationships and coaching related to families, and so maybe something like this might be more appropriate. Maybe you're all about health and wellness. Maybe you are more health and wellness, a lot of different ways to create the ideal life of your dreams. Or again, there's relationships. Maybe you work with couples. Maybe you work with executives and team leaders, right? And so we've uploaded a number that are broad for a lot of different niches, but you can just kind of click through and pick the one that works for you. Now you can also upload your own image, and you'll see right below all the images that we've pre-uploaded, you'll see the dimension requirements. So it's 880 pixels by 180 pixels. If you're going to create a header image, or you're going to have a graphic designer create one for you, then you'll want to make sure that you use those requirements, and then it'll fit nicely right in the header image. So you can upload your own header image. Okay, so you can use one of ours, you can upload your own, or you'll see the third option. For some people, they're like, look, that graphic's nice, but I don't want it to take up real estate on my page. I want people to go straight to the content. I want them to immediately see my free gift and my opt-in form. So thanks, guys, for the pretty picture, but no thanks. I just want text because I want people to see my free gift as quickly as possible. Right? So there's two very different approaches, and depending on the philosophy or the background you come from, you'll be strongly opinionated in one or another. So you have options for all of them, and it's as simple as checking that check mark box right next to show header image or not. Right? So you can turn it on or off. Now, as you change things, you want to make sure you click Save and Apply to save your changes. Okay? If you don't click Save and Apply, it's not going to save your changes. Susie asked a question. Oh, this is a good question. Will you be coming out with additional header images anytime soon? Actually, Susie, we had not considered that. But you know what? We could take a look at that. Hang on, let me make a note. I can't promise that. We haven't discussed it yet. But I will make a note and see what might be possible. Yeah, good question. And Susie says, keep the ones you have, maybe just add some more. Yeah. We would definitely keep the ones that we have because those are pretty effective with the different niches. And so it would just be an in addition to type of thing. Okay. And B's asking a question if we want a series of images. That's another good question. We've actually looked at that. So if you want a series of images that are related for a header image, a free gift, and a product, We've been looking into that. I don't know when or if that will happen, but I can tell you that we're taking a look at that. Okay, so we'll keep you posted on that. Now, Darlene asks a great question. Does this apply if I have my own website and will be adding the login to Coaches Console to my current website? So it does to a degree, Darlene. Let me actually show you an example. Hang on one second. Let me get a new screen up here. All right, let's see here. I'm going to use the Val Nelson's example. It is the best example. I love it. I continue to love it. She's one of our members. She's great and excellent. So here's her existing website, Darlene, or anybody. I'll just speak to Darlene because she asked the question. So this is her existing website. It's not through Coaches Console. She had it set up and created. And you can see she's got the black swan. She's got kind of this banner on her existing website, the dark blue and red, so on and so forth. So the way she sets up her Coaches Console website has nothing to do with her existing website design. She sets that up completely separate. But look what happens. On her existing website, she added that client login menu that links to her Coaches Console private client website. And when people click on this, it opens a new window. Now this screen that we're looking at, this is her Coaches Console website. And you can see here's the logo, here's the background color, and here's that graphic, that header image where I was showing the compass. She had her graphic designer take her current banner that's slightly different, tweak it to be the right size. It still has the black swans and some of the same language, so it's compatible, right? Here's her existing website. So she took this existing banner, kind of shrunk it down and made it wider. And instead of an all white background, she has the dark blue background with the white page. So this screen right here is her Coaches Console website. So what she's setting up is what she wants her Coaches Console website to look like when people click from her existing website design to access her private client portal. Okay? So Darlene, you would want to go through this same process where you are choosing a graphic image. And again, like Val, she chose the upload file option, and she had her graphic designers create a header image that was fashioned in the same style as her existing website, but it was slightly different, and she uploaded it, and she chose her background color and logo, etc., so that it was consistent with her existing website. Okay. Does that help, Darlene? Darlene says, okay, awesome. I get it and see how I could do this too. Yeah, you want your Coaches Console to be consistent with your existing website. So when you are in your console system and you click website and you click themes and preview and customize, it's going to open that editing window and you'll see the working draft of your website. So you can start playing around and making it consistent with your existing design. Great question. Okay, Andrea asks a question. Isn't my free gift, whether it's an article, a map, or something, supposed to be on its own page, logged in from my pain and pleasure page, which I relate to your attention business owner page? So Andrea, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. Let me just go to this, not the working draft, but here's the website. And so this is a website where people are going to come to learn more about you and find out what you're up to and how you can help them and how they can get the results they're looking for. And so you've got content here on your page, and then you have an opt-in form for your free gift. So this is just kind of an everyday, people come here and opt in. This is one approach. Another approach is that instead of or in addition to having your free gift opt-in form listed here on the right side column, you could also create just a standalone opt-in page. And any marketing you do sends them to that link that's just the standalone opt-in page, and then they get your free gift. And then if they want to learn more, they can come to your website and learn more about you, who you are, what your bio is, book a sample session, so on and so forth. So it's just two different approaches, is all that is, Andrea, just two different approaches. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to some more of the branding. And again, I'm still in the website module, and everything I'm talking about today is under theme when I click on preview and customize. And I'm in this working draft of my website, and I can see here on the left everything I can edit. So let's take a look at the background color. So the background color, when you, if you're working with a graphic designer, they may give you color numbers, and you're like, I don't even know what that means. You don't have to. You just have to know where to put them. This might be one of them. If they give you a color scheme with logos and images and things like that, then this is where you would begin to enter those numbers. So you can type in a specific number, or for most people, you're like, yeah, no, I don't know my number, but I know you can kind of just click around and begin to pick the shade of what you want. You can say, you know what, I kind of want just a nice tan background so that it makes all the colors on my page pop. Or you may want a white background. Some people like to have just an all white background. You can certainly do that, right? So it's consistent. Or you might want it to be consistent or a darker image than what you have on your website, kind of like that's what Val did. She had the dark blue so that it makes the actual white of the page pop. So you can click around and play around with what kind of color you want to be your background image. Again, you don't want to get Kate. This is going to be interesting, and I'll just say it this way because it is what it is. You don't want to get to like have a clown effect or circusy, because the more colors you have, actually the more distracting it is. There's two effective color combinations when it comes to professional websites. Well, just two colors. Blue, any kind of shade of blue, is the most common, most effective, most identified as professional color to use. That's why you see it in so many places. So it's perceived that way by visitors, and it's also seen in a lot of places. Orange is another color. Green is another color, a bright green. So you just want to be real mindful that you're not using too many colors. And the whole point of the color is to make sure that you bring attention to the text and the copy and the call to action that you want people to see. If you're branding, the background color, the header image, if any of the branding is distracting from that, you don't have an effective website anymore. And so every choice that you make, is this helping to drive people to see what I want them to see? In Val's case, it does exactly that. You've got the dark blue, and it leads the eye to the red statements so that then they start looking right down the page. Okay? So all of your branding should be about driving the people to the call to action. Now, in addition to the background color, you can also change page titles. See when I hover my mouse over the phrase page title here on the left, you see my mouse moving, my cursor? And you see the attention small business owner, the title of that page in a red box. So I can edit that. I can choose what I want the font color. So for example, let's just show what Val did. She had red, right? So let's say that's one of our color combinations. So we've got red, and hang on one second, I'm gonna get a sip of water. All right. And so you can change your font color. You can also change the font size. And so maybe you want it to be, you can just kind of type in, and maybe you want it to be 20-point font. But you can kind of increase or decrease the font size so that it's appropriate. You want to always make it appropriate for your ideal client, right? Smaller is better, great. If maybe you're working with older individuals, and I'm going to say this, and you guys are going to kill me. I'm going to say it anyway. It's probably the cold speaking. But if you're working with older individuals, the font size might need to be a bit bigger, right? So you can change your font size, and you can see as I increase this, you can see the attention small business owner increasing or decreasing. We find that 21 point is an ideal size for the page title. And then the cool thing that happens is every page you add, whether maybe it's your bio, it's going to be consistent, the same style, the same size, the same color, no matter what it is that you add, what page you add. When you give it a title, it's going to be consistent, and consistent is what you want. Consistency is what you want in your website. Okay? Okay. Let's go back to that page title. You got the font style, the font color, the font size. The thing that I want to share with you, there's two common font styles that are used on most professional websites. One of them is Arial. It's actually the first two that we list, Arial and Verdana. Those are the two most easy to read, most commonly used font styles. We use Droid Sans. You'll see that. That's also another one. It's slightly different than what people are seeing, so it kind of stands out. But any of these top four that we list, these are the more common ones to use. That's another thing that we see is people try to get tricky with it. And they're like, oh my gosh, this is such a fun font. And you are trying to let the font kind of represent the essence of your business. The font is not where you want to represent the essence of your business, because the purpose of the font style is that it's quick and easy to read for the eye to scan through in just a couple seconds flat. And when you use a more unique font style, it actually distracts people, and it keeps them, it causes them to work harder to read it, which means they won't. Okay. So just a heads up about that. I would recommend one of the first four that we list as your font style, not just for the page title, but also your default font on the page copy itself. Okay. And you can choose from from the pull down menu. So that is the page title. And when I'm talking about page title, let me show you how you create the page title. When you're adding pages to your console website, and let's just say that we're going to be adding a new page, we'll click here on add a new page. Right here's the page title. Whatever title you give it here, this is what is listed here. Okay. And so that's the page. So whatever you type in this yellow box, in this page title box, it's going to display at the top of that page. So make use of this page title. Let it be an attention grabbing type of statement, a hook type of statement. And with your page titles, like you see here, attention small business owner, it's like, oh yes, I'm a small business owner. Let me pay attention and read. Or meet your coach, like it's a description, a call to action, the action step that you want them to take. Like you're already introducing them as their coach. It's like, oh, that's my coach. Let me read about my coach. So use the title of your page to get the attention of the people and kind of influence what you want them to do. Guide them. Everything about your website is guiding them to read what's on that, so that at the bottom they can take the action you want them to take. Okay? Now, in addition to the page titles, let's go back, hang on a second. Let's go back to the home page where I've got this. So in addition to that was the page title, you'll also see headline styles. And you see as I hover my mouse here on the left, headline style 2, my cursor is over here. I've got the red box around the headline of the page. So here you have the page title, and then you have the headline of the page. So this is where the actual content, the copy of the page starts. This is the page title, and then this is where the content of the page starts. And you can preset what those font colors are. So let's say that we want this to be that blue color, right? So we can set the blue so that every time we use that headline on any page, it's always going to be the same color, the same font size, and 14 is a good font size for a headline. And then you want to choose your font. And you want your fonts to be the same. Don't try to get tricky with it and use different fonts in different places, okay? And that way, no matter what page you create when you add a headline, it's going to be consistent. So your pages will be consistent as people visit different pages on your website. It'll all be consistent. And let me show you how to insert a pre-configured headline. So we're creating this page, right? Here's the page title that we saw. And then here's where we enter the content. So you would type your heading here. Well, I'll call it a headline. Hold on. And then you would type your content here. And when you highlight this, you'll see formats, headings. And here's my preset headings that I put in my theme. So there's that first preset heading. And I just have to click on it. And it automatically takes that text and formats it with the style, the size, and the color so it's consistent. So wherever I want a heading, I can, maybe you type content here, and maybe you have another headline for next section of copy. And we want that heading to be the same. We want consistency on the page, so we can do it that way. Right? And you type more content here and another heading. We want it to be consistent, so we click on formats, headings, and we can choose our predefined heading and click it. That way, as you're creating, this is helpful if you're creating sales, like the long sales pages and you've got different headings. And you can, there's a number of different headings. Not all of them may have to be big. Some of them you might want to make a different color and a different style, but you want to get their attention. So you can do that as well. So those are those predefined headings. And you can see here's headline styles 2 and 3. And then here's another one. You can pre-configure headline style 4. And you can set that up. And so you can have different colors, sizes, and fonts if you need to. B asks the question, if you set up your template, do you need to identify the font for a new page title when you enter it? Nope, because the page title, font color, font size, font style is all pre-configured in your template. And that way, when you go to your console system and you click Add New Page, every time you add a page, it's always going to be the same font style, font size, font color. Okay? So you don't have to, once you have it set up in your template, you don't have to keep formatting it. If you use, let's go to the page. If you use this section right here, B, so when you're typing your text, in order to apply that pre-configured font style, size, and color, click on Formats in the content editor, Headings, and there's your pre-configured headings. Okay? And you can have it fixed right there. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at one more thing about the branding, and then we'll open it up for general Q&A. Okay, so we're still in the website module. We're still under theme, and we're still under preview and customize, and we're working in that draft of our website. At the very bottom of this left-hand side over here, once you are done with the page title, the header image, the default font, whatever you're working on over here, when you scroll down, the very last thing in the lower left is branding. And when you click on branding, there's a few elements here. Your logo is the first one. And when I hover over branding, you'll see here in the upper left where I have my logo, you'll see that my logo is in a red box. So it's like, oh, that's what we're about to edit. That's your logo. So whenever you upload an image as your logo, it's always going to be in the upper left of every page of your website, no matter what page people go to. Whether it's a page that's linked with a menu or submenu, doesn't matter if it's maybe it's a sales page that you have linked to a menu, or maybe it's a standalone page. Every time somebody goes to a page on your website, the logo will be in the upper left like you see it here. Now, in addition, when you upload your logo, that image is also going to appear on the upper left of anything that is from your console system sent to prospects or clients. So email messages, newsletters, autoresponders, invoices, appointment reminders and notifications, anything that you send or that is generated automatically from your console system to your contacts will be branded with your logo image in the upper left. Okay? And just simply upload a file, click the button, choose the file. It needs to be a JPEG or a GIF file type, and upload it, and it will add it. If you don't upload a logo, then whatever your business name is that you typed in your profile, it will simply have the name of your business in block letters listed. So you don't have to have a logo. It'll just display your business name. I know for me, it was quite a while before I could afford a graphic designer to create a logo and before I could choose one. So it was several weeks after I got started before I had it. So I just used my business name as my brand, and then I added my logo. Okay. Is there a size parameter for the logo? There is. In fact, this is going to be a good time for me to point this out. In your console system, I'm going to go back to the dashboard for a second. When you click on the customer support option, it's going to open up a new tab, and it's going to open up the support center. One of the things that you can do is type in a keyword in the search. And when you search, it's going to search for FAQs, video tutorials. There's going to be a lot of information. So if you aren't sure of an answer, one of the quickest and easiest things to do is go to that search feature and just type in, a word or a phrase, and you can see what's the ideal logo size. And when you click on this, it's going to give you that information, right? And there's going to be, depending on what you're asking about, it's going to give you some information. And so using that search feature in the support center is a super easy thing to do. And a lot of times you will find the information that you're looking for. If you're not able to find it wherever you think it might be in your console system, head to the support center and type in a word or phrase and search, and you'll probably find it in just a few quick moments. So B, to answer your question, yes, there is a logo requirement because it's going to fill in that upper left corner. And like Stephanie on our team says, there's a couple of dimensions that you need to know. And she talks about what to do with that. So I'll direct you to the support center and you can check out to see what you need to know based on your situation. And Susie just said, great idea. And it saves Mary, Stephanie, and Ginger. Well, that's what they're there for. They're going to answer your questions. And a lot of times I know that, like this, for example, if B had this question, she's like, well, what kind of logo size do I need to upload? Rather than entering a ticket and waiting for Mary, Stephanie, or Ginger to get back to you, just type in logo, click enter, and in 3 seconds you have your answer. So it's not really about saving Mary, Stephanie, and Ginger, because that's her job. That's what they're there for. That's what they love doing. It's about you getting the information quicker and faster, right? Okay, so that's the little bit about the support center, and just a reminder. I just want to make sure everybody knew about that search feature. I love it, and you can type in any kind of word or phrase, and you'll be fascinated about what you'll pull up. So make use of that search feature. Okay, let's go to any questions. We'll open it up for the last part of the call to any questions that you might have about your console system, whether it's related to today's topic or not. Whether it's about setting up and branding your website, because there's some other things that we talked about on here. But if you have questions about that, type those in, or if you have any kind of questions about your console system, type those in as well. And Dumont asked the question, how can we integrate with Leadpages? Well, actually, Dumont, I'm going to go back to the support center. So let's just go back here. I'm going to click the back button for a second. So here we are. You click support in your console system, and you want to find this out. And you don't want to wait for Mary, Stephanie, or Ginger to get back. And we're not on a Tuesdays at 2. Let's just pretend. And just type in that phrase, Leadpages. And you'll find, how can I integrate with Leadpages? Because most of the questions that we all have, other members have asked. And what I want you all to know is that one of the things that our team does is, as we have questions that come up that people haven't asked before, if it's a brand new question, like somebody will post a question on Facebook or in a support ticket, we turn it into an FAQ so that you can have the information you're looking for in a quick manner, as quick as possible. And so the cool thing about this is there's a couple of different variations. We did one on a Tuesdays at 2, so you could go watch me go through it on a Tuesdays at 2, or you're like, I don't want to sit through an hour of that, even though I go through it in great detail. You can click on these, and it gives you the steps, the step by step, and they've made a little video where they actually log into our Leadpages account and show you exactly where to click and what to do. Right? So the support center is kicking. So Dumont, that's what I'm not going to go through it because there's a lot of little steps. I'll give you the gist of it. And here's this section right here. You do a couple things, and some of it is in your console system, and then some of it is actually in your Leadpages account. And for those of you that don't know what Leadpages is, you can use that phrasing in 2 ways. So a lead page, 2 words, a lead page is like a sales page, a registration page, an opt-in page where you're collecting leads, opt-ins, new contacts on your list. That's what a lead page is. Leadpages, like you see here, Leadpages is a technology. And this company, Leadpages, this platform, has created and pre-configured and tested effective sales pages, registration pages, and opt-in pages. And so some people are like, I don't want to create my own. Or you might have your own a promotion that you're doing, and you want some opt-in pages and a sales page, and you don't want to format it yourself. So you use one of their pre-configured templates, plug in your content, and off you go, right? And so some people, we use them in our big launches that we do a couple times a year. But you can create a lead page for let's say an opt-in form for your free gift. And then that can be connected to your console system and integrated. And that's what they explain here in the support center. So Dumont, I'm going to send you there, and you can walk through it and go through it step by step. And I would recommend watching the video because it's going to show you, it's not that long of a video, it's going to show you exactly where to click, what to put in where, and so on and so forth. Okay? Cool. Great question. Mary asked the question, which header would be good for helping someone to discover their purpose? Ooh, great question. So let's go back to customizing and previewing the theme and back to the header image. So a couple of things about, and you're working with individuals and you're doing discovery work. You could do something like this, because when they do discover let's go back to the home page. When they do discover their purpose, they feel like they just want to shout it from the mountaintops, and they feel free. So the picture should represent the feeling of the result that people get with you. that make sense? The picture any picture, whether you're using it for an image on your website or an image in a PowerPoint slide or a webinar that you do or any on a sales page, the picture should represent the ultimate result that they're currently feeling or that they will feel once they work with you. So this one could be a good one. This could be a fun one. I think this is kind of playful. It's like, hello, where's my purpose? Is it out there anywhere? And so they're like seeking to find it. This is another good one. The lighthouse is always a beacon. Um, so that might be a good one. Other purpose work. Those might be the best ones. Not that one. Yep, I would say those are the best ones. And if anybody else on the webinar is like, no, pick this one, let me know what that is. But I would say between these three would be good for purpose work. Yeah, and it just depends on, like, that's kind of represents the ultimate end feeling. This is kind of fun and cheeky. It's like, hello, is my purpose out there? And this is more soulful, kind of a feeling. Does that help, Mary? Cool. Great. What would you use the flowers and red poppies for? This one right here. Um, this would be for like health and wellness. The blue, having a blue sky like that, kind of a sunshiny blue sky, always seems to signify wellness. And then we have several for wellness, and we wanted to have some different colors. So whether it was this, if you were working with reds or blues or greens, you could choose that one. Health and wellness, a more serious kind of inward journey, might be something like this. Contemplating. This is more of a spiritual approach to health and wellness type of thing, but that's what that might be used for. Okay, excellent. Um, okay, Darlene asked a question. Darlene's question is, I'm using Rizuku to develop my online course. I'm not even sure of all the compatibility I need with Coach's Console if my course is in Rizuku, but I thought I would ask now. Okay, so Rizuku does help you organize your course content and get it out to your clients and participants. And if you're going to use that, and I'll say both perspectives, and then Darlene, I'll trust you to do what is best for you, your business, and your clients. Because with Rizuku, in your Coach's Console system under the cart, we have the course and content delivery module. So you would not be using this section of your console system. Instead, you would be using Rizuku. Now, it's a great program. And so if that's working for you, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So keep using it. And so you could do, the way it could be compatible is you could create products and sell your products. Let's just say, for example, that what can I say? I'll just say the group coaching program. Let's say you have a group coaching program and you want to sell it. You can sell it on your Coach's Console website through your Coach's Console shopping cart. So you don't have to go out and get another shopping cart. You can accept payments. They can do reoccurring payments, one-time fees, and you can set up product autoresponders that gives them all the details and access to the content. And in the way we would teach it, if you're using the Coach's Console course delivery module, we're going to tell you to log into your private client website and, or we would have you tell your clients to log into your private client website so they can access the content that's organized there. But you're not going to do that. So instead, you would delete this section and you would simply type in, to access your content, go here. And however Rizuku provides you with the ability for people to access that content, you would insert that into the product autoresponder. So once somebody gets this autoresponder and they click on that link, they won't interact with you on your console system, but they'll interact with you through Rizuku. And so it's just kind of a bridge, right? So they're not seamlessly integrated, but you kind of bridge them using the product autoresponders. Okay, so that could be one thing that you do. And in your website, we're talking about branding. You can create a page where you're selling, like a little sales page, maybe something like this, and you're selling your program, whatever that program is. And through your shopping cart, you have a buy now button, or sign up today, or register today, or reserve your spot, or whatever it is. And you've got the button where they can buy the program. So you might have a page on your website so they can buy the program. And then those product autoresponders give them the instructions of how to access that through Rizuku. Okay. Okay, I think that gives you some information on how to make those two platforms work together. If you have any more questions, let us know. Okay, let's see, a few more questions. Claude asks a question. Does the Coaches Console have or recommend effective ways to drive traffic to your landing pages, especially when your site's back end is already set up? So here we are, we're talking about, well, let's just go to, let me open up the website again. Here we go. So what you're talking about is, Claude, is you've got the website's set up, and you have your back end is created so that people can, they can log in and start accessing all your information. And what you want to know is effective ways to drive traffic to your landing pages, whether it's a home page where your free gift lives, or maybe it's a standalone opt-in page where your free gift lives. And some of the effective ways to drive traffic, I'll list a few of them. We only have about 9 minutes left, so we can't really go into detail on a lot of them, but I'll list several of them. One of the most effective ways that Kate and I thoroughly believe in, it's the cornerstone of how we built our business from 0 to like 35,000 people on our list and $1 million business, and it's with joint venture partners. And that joint venture partner does not have to be a big partner. It can be there's a lot of names for that: referral partner, affiliate, JV partner, colleague. And we started out with referral partners at the very, 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 very beginning. And we sat down and identified what other people, this is a great question to ask, so write this down. What other people, businesses, are serving my same ideal client with different products and services? In fact, I did a bonus training on this back in September to our whole mailing list, just a free training. And we called it it's your strategic referral partners, your power circle, right? You want to identify who those power circles are. And when you can identify, it won't take many, identify 5 of them. Other industries, other businesses, other people that are providing different services and products to your same ideal client. So here's my example that I gave in that bonus training I did. In the very beginning, when I started my coaching business, I was working with small business owners who were great at what they did, had a passion for what they did, and they started doing business. And then they were getting burnt out and burning the midnight oil. They were losing sight of their family because they were working all the time, and now their hobby was not so fun anymore, right? And so I started working with small business owners. And the types of people that I partnered with to help send traffic to my website and help introduce me to individuals and groups of people in person and online, I worked with CPAs. I found a couple of key CPAs because I know a small business owner, when they're getting started, they better be in touch with a CPA, and they better have an accountant or they're going to be in trouble. So I knew that they should be working with a CPA. Bookkeeper, they better have a bookkeeper or else they're going to pull their hair out. So I talked with bookkeepers. I also talked with massage therapists because I knew they were going to be super stressed. And when they were on a massage therapist table, they're going to unleash that stress and kind of download and dump that out, and massage therapists would be privy to who is super stressed out about their business because I can help them, right? Financial planner was another one. Website designer, graphic designer. So you can kind of see, graphic designer and me doing coaching for small businesses, we are doing two totally different things, but we're serving the same client. And when I identified those individuals, and then I started meeting those individuals and making relationships with those people, it worked two ways. I could have them, we could create a series of emails that they could send out to their contacts to introduce me and get them to my website, and vice versa. Because I knew when I was working with a small business owner that the more they worked with a bookkeeper, for example, the better kind of client they were for me. And so if they weren't working with a bookkeeper, I would introduce them to a bookkeeper, right? Does that make sense, Claude? So you want to identify those. That is, I am like a full believer in identifying those power circle industries and identifying those individuals and having them, because now instead of marketing one-to-one, the end user, your ideal client, now you're marketing one-to-many is what Kate and I describe it as. And if you work with a bookkeeper who has a contact list of, let's say just 1,000 people, 500 people, and they are willing to send a couple of emails to their contacts about you or include you in their newsletter with a link to your website or your opt-in page or your landing page, that's going to drive. And if you do that with, 5 to 10 individuals, you're going to be bringing a lot of traffic. And it has to be consistent. It can't just be a one-time thing, but to do it multiple times. And then the next step is to actually line up a presentation with them, whether it's I used to do live lunch and learns, and I would take the back room of a restaurant and there'd be anywhere from 10 to 15 people that would come to those, and I would teach them great content, and they'd walk away with great information that they could apply. And for those that are like, that's great, this is exactly what I'm looking for, I want more, I booked a sample session, they hired me as their coach. So you can do presentations. So I did live lunch and learns. I did teleclasses if it needed to be virtual. And then years later, when I got more comfortable, I added webinars and had the video component as well. Okay. So those are the, this is my own personal opinion. There are bajillions of different approaches to marketing. And, I was on a panel of, it was a marketing telesummit. Gosh, I guess this was probably 8 or 9 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago. And there was about 12 different presenters on this panel. And one of the kind of the epiphany that hit me was, all 12 of us on the panel had our approach for marketing because it worked for us so well. And the thing that I got was not one of them was good, bad, right, or wrong, worked better or worse than the other. They were all effective. Right? And so this was my own approach. This is what I believe in. This is what I tell everybody I know to do. So through networking, affiliates, JV partners, and your colleagues, getting them to drive the traffic because now you're marketing one to many. Okay. And so you all can collaborate on the Coaches Console Members Mastermind Facebook group. It's a private group for just Coaches Console members. But Claude, you might get on there and say, here's my ideal client. Here's the top 3 pain points. Who else serves them? And Claude, you might offer coaching for XYZ, but somebody else, I'm just going to make this up, Claude, because forgive me, I don't remember what your niche is and what your focus is, but let's just say it's on building your business. Well, another console member's coaching might be on for that, business owners, but they might be working with them on their nutrition. They might be a nutritionist and wellness coach. So you're serving the same people, but in a very different way, right? Um, and you can begin to collaborate and work together. Okay. And Andrea asked the question, other than networking, how can I get prospective clients to find my web page? And Andrea, that's what I've just listed as you don't have to be a part of a networking group to do what I just described. You can reach out to colleagues that you know, have your friends introduce you to your Power Circle colleagues, and have them send, and they don't even have to be from your same hometown. You might meet, maybe a chiropractor is a perfect referral partner for you, and you might find a referral partner in a totally different part of the country, and you might work together with them. Okay? It's a great, quick way to do it. Claude says, I see people were mooting social media marketing. What you say makes good sense. Yeah, social media, that that is going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, and consistent activity, and you better know what you're doing, or else it's not going to be effective. It's a good tool, and it can be a smart tool. What I have found is early in business model number one, like we talk about in boot camp, when you are trying to start your business and make that first 50,000 consistently, using social media as your marketing strategy to do that is going to be extremely expensive with very little return on your investment, because you're still in the beginning phase where you're ironing out your niche, you're ironing out your free gift, you're testing and researching what is effective free gift, what are effective autoresponders, and you're still working that out. And only once you have learned that you have a free gift that people love, that gets people to book sample sessions, and that enrolls people into paying clients, once you know that's proven and tested, then add social media. That's the time to add social media. All right, everybody, these were great questions, and I want to thank you all for being here today. We'll be back for more great topics, but use that search feature. Like, that's your homework. When you go to the support center, use that search feature. Type in that word or phrase, and you'll find frequently asked questions or little short video tutorials or Tuesdays at 2 recordings that may answer your question. Okay? All right, everybody, have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.